Good morning. It is Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. Back here for another daily shake-up. Going to shake up your thinking today, hopefully. And if you like it, think it's worth sharing, then throw a comment, share it with your community, and get the conversation cranked up about leadership and life. You obviously recognize this game behind me from the game of Jenga. But here's my question. If you're playing Jenga, unless you're trying to be funny or you're bored, would you knowingly pull out a piece that you knew would topple the tower? That's the question. If you've built the tower, would you knowingly pull out a piece that you knew would crumble the tower? Now, once again, if you're bored and you're done playing or you're trying to be funny, you might. But the object of the game is to continue to build and to remove pieces, right? To remove pieces that keep the structure in place. So you're not going to intentionally sabotage it. And you probably in Jenga would not unintentionally sabotage it. But we do in unconsciously sabotage ourselves and our goals and objectives. And we do it in a lot of different, very subtle, kind of sneaky ways. One of those is with what I call setup goals, where we put a goal in place that either it's just not realistic given our situation that we're going to honor it. So we quickly fail. We tell ourselves that we're a failure, or we give up, or we say that was too hard because we set ourselves up with a ridiculous goal. For example, let's say you've been smoking for 30 years and you say, I'm going to stop smoking and I'm going to stop tomorrow and I won't have another cigarette ever. That works occasionally, but almost never. Does that actually work? You got to do it in small sprints, and you might have a backslide here and there, but you set it up. You reduce first. You pick a goal that's achievable, achieve the goal, build momentum, because goals are about momentum. And one of the reasons it's about momentum is that we have obstacles to our goals, but if we have good momentum, we can keep moving, and that momentum propels us through the obstacles, around the obstacles, etc. Another way that we set ourselves up is the goal that we do is not designed to give us initial and short-term wins. So, for example, and this is a very practical thing that I started doing myself, I wanted to have block time on my calendar to produce work. That means I don't want to have calls, I don't want to have meetings. This is a time where I'm going to produce work because I found that I was scheduling so many meetings, I didn't have time to produce work. And I either got behind or I had to do that work in the evening, which I didn't really want to do. So initially, I set myself up, didn't know I was doing it. And I said, every day, I'm going to block a couple of hours every day. And pretty quickly, what happened? I failed because I knew it was every day and I would surrender that time to other things or other meetings. And I realized I was setting myself up, so I changed it to 2 days a week. And like magic, when I changed it to 2 days a week, I'm doing a ton better. There's occasionally a day, well, I will give up some of that time for a meeting or a call if I think it's really important, if I think it's important. But for the most part, it's working. And I'm building momentum and I'm having success and I'm being able to see myself being successful at setting and holding boundaries, which empowers me to do more of it going forward. Now, I may expand it to 3 days down the road. But the point is, even if I want to get to every day, I don't have to start with that because starting with too much is typically a setup, a self-sabotage. It's like playing Jenga and saying, I see that this is going to make it fall. I'm going to pull it anyway. Stop pulling the block that makes everything crumble, especially when it comes to your goals. So try it out. Short-term successes, pick something that's achievable, achieve it, expand on it later, but build that momentum that only comes from success. That's it. Have a great day. And like I said, like, comment, and share, and spread the conversation.